Hey guys, going to have a quick look today at the mini sort of Ecstasy, 3534 they're calling this one. Bogner have had a couple of attempts at this, so I'm going to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago they released sort of a 20 watt, I think they even called it the mini Ecstasy. Had a few issues and problems getting parts, manufacturing, all of that. I think they maybe made about 20 or 30 of them and then revisited the plans. And so this is the revised version. Certainly on the surface it looks much closer to an original Big Brother, the proper Ecstasy. So effectively it's just a mini version of that. And given that, you know, the whole mini amp thing is really kicking off at the moment, I'm hoping it does well. It certainly fits a nice position, I think, in the range of Bogner amps that they do. So, like I said, it's mostly like the big Ecstasy, and we'll go through and have a look at a few things. Firstly, when you turn it on, it does always come up in the red channel, in channel 3. Don't know what the reasoning is behind that, but anyway, just heads up for that. Couple of little differences. We do have a couple of differences. We've got a channel select on the front instead of on the back on the big one. We've got a boost, so we don't need the foot switch to do that, which is really appreciated, unlike the Big Brother where you do need the foot switch to activate the boost. And the other little difference is just on the back there is a master volume for the effects loop, but there's a special little switch where you can assign the effects just to channels 2 and 3. I'm assuming you might want to put a delay pedal in there and just kick it in when you do the dirty stuff. Or maybe you want a reverb or something only on the dirty stuff. So you can assign it just to channels 2 and 3. We won't have a look at that today. We're just going to have a look at the amp itself, but just so you know. Going to run through all the knobs and switches. Playing the Luke 3 with the Damasio transition pickups, my favourite pickups for this sort of guitar. And we're in the clean channel just to get started. Everything's about 12 o'clock, so volume and gain. Excursion on the master is L. And we do have a bright switch on the channel 1, so I'll just deactivate that now. And we've got B1 and B2. Presence works really nicely. I normally leave it in B2. This amp does have a fair bit of bass, and certainly in the clean channel. I'm preferring to turn the presence up, turn the bass down on the clean channel. That's just me. Boost in. And turn the gain up as well. You know, you can get some dirt happening there as well. The bass stuff, like I said, I will turn the bass up just because it does get probably a little bit too much. So look, we'll turn the bass down on the clean, turn the boost off and gain. The trick on the big Ecstasy is a lot of people like to turn the gain right up and then use the volume channel. Or is it the other way around? No, it's the other way around, isn't it? Yeah. So turn the volume right up and then use the gain as your master volume for the clean channel. certainly, I think the concept seems to work the same, probably even a little bit better on this one, just because the headroom's a little bit less. So you can crank this up a little bit, sort of get the gain right up and get a little bit of dirt happening if that's what you want. All right, blue channel. So again, we're just starting at midday there. Gains on about 12 o'clock, volumes on about 12 o'clock. Bass isn't so bad on this one. Now, I did have, again, the bright switch kicked in there, so it's the bright switch off now. Turn the treble in the middle up a tiny bit. We'll go B1. And B2. And hopefully you can hear B2 does add a little bit more gain, because it's just adding more to the top end. So personally, I do like the B2. And then if there's too much treble, you can always wind it back on the knob. I think it's easier with knobs to, just make edits on the fly. We'll turn the gain right up so you can hear how much gain it does have. And that's even before the boost is kicked in, so it really comes alive, I think. Certainly around about that sort of 3 p.m. mark on the knob. Obviously, because it's it's pushing more signal through the tone stack, but it does do some nice sort of classic stuff. Just not quite there for me. I think it really comes alive when you... And you can always back off on the guitar. So yeah, highly recommend. Turn the gain right up on the blue channel. We'll check the boost. So this is the boost. So again, just more of the good stuff. So it sounds really nice. Obviously great to have it on a foot switch. I haven't got the foot switch here, but yeah, obviously the boost works on the foot switch. So really nice, I think, just to sort of have it at that 3 p.m. mark. And then kick that boost in if you need it. Just if you need that extra push over the cliff, you know what I mean. Finally, we'll go to the red channel now. I'll just put everything back to 12 o'clock. And as you can see, gain's on about 12 o'clock there, so it's got heaps of gain. What the Ecstasy is really famous for. And again, we've got a bright switch just to sort of tweak the tone a little bit differently. So we'll go, that's neutral. We've started off in there. We'll go B1 and B2 and back to neutral. So like the bright switch on channel 2 does sort of not only changes the tone, but there's a little bit more gain in there as well. Also a little bit more noise, because you are highlighting the higher frequencies there, and more gain typically means a bit more noise. But look, I'm going to leave it in B1. I think to give it a little bit more without adding too much noise. We're going to crank the gain right up again. We're going to go 3 p.m. again, that sort of magic marker. And again, it's just, I mean, it's not getting too muddy or too distorted, I guess is probably the right word. It's a really nice gain structure, beautifully put together. Probably a little bit too much gain for me, but that's just me personally. I find sort of around about the 12, 1, 2 p.m. mark on the amp for me is good. And then of course you can use your volume to boost the amp, is probably the wrong word, but make the amp a little bit louder for your solo bit. What we are going to do is kick on the boost, so just so you can hear the effect, I'm going to dial the gain back to about 12 o'clock and then kick in the boost. So again, that's probably the way you would use it. I don't think there's any point kicking in a boost when your gain is right up. The boost really gives you a lot of flexibility, almost sort of like a 6-channel amp really. So keep your gain down and then just kick in the boost if you want that, you know, extra gain, and it'll take you into the territory of the 3 p.m. mark on the gain. So again, we've got the boost off. And then boost on. And look, just for the hell of it, we'll turn it right up and we'll kick on the boost just to see how it sounds. So it certainly does give you that really high sustain, singing sort of over the top gain sort of sound, if that's what you want. As I said, not for me, but that's for some people. And finally, like the blue channel, the red does clean up really nicely. I mean, that's just what tube amps do really, really well. Cleans up really nicely, and I mean we're still running the gain really well. So it just enormous flexibility. I mean, it's the whole thing that I love about the Ecstasy amps. Just really, really great. One thing we didn't check, and we'll do that right now. We'll go back to the blue channel. So that's where I spend most of my time. Is the Excursion, which is the power amp section. So we've got 3 settings. That has all been on the L, which I believe accentuates the L for low end. I might be wrong on that. It's been a while since I've looked at that. We've got T for tight. So we'll go back to L. And then we've got D on the other side. You'll notice with the D we do get a bit of a drop in gain, a little bit of a tiny drop in volume. So my preference is either the L or the T. Most of the time it's the L, but it's mirroring you know, the big Ecstasy thing. So the Excursion switch works the same way. So there we have it, the 3534. It's a great little boutique amp. You know, if you're after a really nice, well-made boutique amp with incredible flexibility, and maybe not up for the huge volume or even the bigger prices around some of the 100-watt heads nowadays. This absolutely fits the mark. It just, you know, sounds amazing and incredible flexibility. Hope you enjoyed.